This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The World Wide Web can be a scary place to live in. With many of us living our lives online rather than off, it all becomes an open book for everyone to read. This week on Reliance Big TV BYTEIT, it's all about the internet and having a safe trip while surfing. On the show, intelligent Wi-Fi nodes that are making the city wireless. And while you stay wireless, check out the top 5 online software downloads. And finally, a game of cricket tailor-made for cricket-crazy India. Recently, NDTV Hindu did a report on the city's ever-expanding Wi-Fi networks and how vulnerable it is to hacking. But how does Wi-Fi work and what can you do to keep your Wi-Fi life secure? Well, we get you the right perspective with the help of one of the latest entrants in this space, Zilog Systems. Without taking a deeply philosophical approach to life, how would one answer the question, what does liberation mean? Well, for me, it's being wireless. The freedom of moving from space to space, staying connected and wire-free is tech nirvana. And if you really are in digi heaven, you expect room service to be real fast. One of the latest entrants in the Wi-Fi market is Zilog Systems. And this company is promising to bring high-speed Wi-Fi into homes and offices, minus routers. Zilog launched its Wi-Fi services in June this year and uses technology that's different from the conventional router-based Wi-Fi that depend on telephone lines. At a whopping speed of 1 to 4 Mbps, this net connection claims to be 3 times faster than its competitors.
Since it is wireless and there is no loss of bandwidth data in the last mile connectivity, you would be able to see the maximum throughput than any other alternate technology like a DSL wired through copper, because there could be a lot of issues in that. Either it could be exposed to the outside rain or other outside connectivity, and most of the DSL comes with the phone line, so there is a AD converter at the home and you have a DSL which takes care of the demodulation and modulation. So there could be loss of data bandwidth or power, the speed problem, which you would not be able to envisage in this. It's directly wireless and digital.
As part of its pilot project, Zilog has set up nodes, 200 of these, on rooftops of buildings located in Adyar, Besanagar and parts of T Nagar and Ashok Nagar. These intelligent Wi-Fi nodes, each located within 250 meters of each other, speak to each other wirelessly and convey this to the end user too, who simply needs a wireless-enabled laptop, cell phone or desktop to log on to the internet instantly. All this forms the infrastructure mesh model that the company deploys, very similar to mobile networks.
The infrastructure mesh technology that we use is architected similar to a cellular network, is that we create cell sites instead of hotspots which are very limited in their reach. We create something similar to a cell site, which means that the reach of a typical cell site is of the order of a kilometer or so. And when these cell sites connect to each other using a mesh network, mesh typically means that you have multiple points of redundancy instead of a single point of failure.
However, Wi-Fi penetration in India is pretty dismal, with an average of 6.5 million subscribers in a population of 1 billion and growing. Dubbed the last mile by operators, the problem lies literally in taking optic fibers into the homes of customers. Broadband operators carry out feasibility studies after a customer comes knocking at Wi-Fi's doors. They survey an area, analyze if their optic fibers are located there, and if not, say the service is unavailable. The other option would be data cards, which didn't work too well for Munish Jain. a student who needed a lot more from his net connection.
Earlier I was using data card, which was like good on a move, but it was not fast. Now when I'm using Wi-Fi, it is like quickly. We can download, we can do anything quickly. Upload and downloading is quite quicker, and the buffering process is not there with Wi-Fi.
It boils down to speed really. How much of a speed of say 1 Mbps really translates to an end user?
We can deliver up to 27 megabits and we're just giving 1 megabit, right? We just scratched the surface. And if you compare it to a competing technology like DSL, DSL has got an inherent limitation that it can provide you only up to a couple of megabits at the maximum. So generally people tend to get lesser speed.
Conventional Wi-Fi operates out of hotspots. In a cafe like this, it means an area that has wireless transmission equipment that lets you stay connected wirelessly in an area of say 50 to 100 meters. But the second you step out of the hotspot, it means you will lose your connectivity. And then there's the perennial question of security. An illegal user can easily jump into your Wi-Fi connection and browse. He or she might also be able to see the information you have on your laptop.
Based on the new security recommendations of the government, operators are not supposed to provide Wi-Fi routers to end users. One of the reasons is that because of the authentication that happens when you provide a DSL service and a Wi-Fi router, there is no centralized authentication happening. And we do the reverse. We authenticate everybody from a centralized location.
Chennai's tech appetite is always growing. Now, if only the speed and quality of service across the board improve. Another factor while determining the speed of so-called fast internet connections is something called a bandwidth ratio, which means the number of users using or competing for the same amount of bandwidth at a particular time. Now, telecom regulator TRAI is also trying to implement a 1:50 ratio for home users, which means 50 users can log on to a 1 Mbps line and share the same bandwidth. Tell us what you think of this ratio. Our email ID is feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. And you can also test the speed of your internet connection by logging on to www.speedtest.in and click on Start Test. We'll be back with 5 more things to do online. Watch out for the countdown of the top softwares available for free or almost. And right after, a game of cricket. Choose from one day, test or the quick T20.